Hey guys, it's Ryan here, and welcome to my low-level Queen Black Dragon guide with magic. If you don't want to use magic, I also have a guide for using melee and ranged methods, and I will link it on screen right about now. Alright, so let's jump right in. Queen Black Dragon has 144,000 life points, is level 220 combat, is immune to poison and stuns, and grants quite a bit of experience every time you kill it. The requirements for this guide are 60 plus summoning. 60 summoning is a requirement for the Queen Black Dragon itself. And also, I require you to do the Songs from the Depths quest, which is a very easy quest. It makes the Queen Black Dragon do less damage to you, so it's very worthwhile. And I would recommend you have 70 plus magic and defense, and 40 plus prayer for the Protect from Range prayer. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to get there. Alright, so basically to get there, you're going to use the Port Sarum Lodestone. You can use the Lodestone. There are some other ways of getting there, like the Remor's Necklace, but they all require the use of an inventory space, so the Lodestone is the way to go. Basically, from the Lodestone, you're going to run northwest up to the lair. You can recharge your summoning points right here, and then you're going to run in. You can go north if you don't have the agility requirement, but if you've got the requirement, you're just going to want to run sort of south and go down this passage like I do. And that's about it. You are at the Queen Black Dragon. Okay, so your inf setup, basically you're going to have stat boosting pots, best ones you have. Sometimes I don't like to overload, usually I just use extremes, so if you've got overloads you don't really need them. 3 to 6 prayer potions or super restores, it depends on how quickly you're going to be killing it, which depends on what gear you're using, but 3 to 6 is a good general rule, just to make sure you don't run out. Most importantly, you're going to need anti-fire or super anti-fire potions depending on what you have. That is an absolute must. Without it, you will probably not even get through the first phase. So make sure you've got that. Other thing, make sure you've got a teleport out, whether that's an Amulet of Glory or Ring of Wealth, or if it's a teletab. And lastly, fill up all the rest of your slots with food, and also your familiars. Alright, so the main magic methods, obviously, you've got a two-handed magic method and a one-handed magic method with a shield, and that's if you don't have super anti-fires. So for the two-handed magic method, you're going to want to pause it right here and figure out what gear you have, but basically the highest level gear is best, as you'd expect. So there's your up and down grade list. These methods will grant you the fastest kills, but they require the use of the super anti-fire potions. And also you can't use shield abilities. So if you're in a sticky situation, you won't be able to use something like Barricade to keep you alive. Now for the one-handed magic methods, you can use shield abilities to heal up, but the kills are a lot slower than if you've got a two-handed method. And the weapon up and down grade list is right there. Alright, so for familiars, you're going to want at least a War Tortoise, a Bunyip, or a Terror Bird, one of those three. Obviously, if you've got a Yak or a Unicorn, use those. They'll be a lot better. And Dreadnips, you don't really need them. They're probably not worth using, but you can if you want to, obviously. For prayers, you're going to want to use Protect or Deflect missiles. This is better than Soul Split. Even if you have Soul Split, I would recommend using Deflect missiles. And you're going to want to use your best magic and defense boosting prayers, and always protect item, because the Queen Black Dragon is an extremely dangerous boss, and you can find yourself getting one hit very easily. So yeah, just be cautious of that. Okay, so when I go over the types of attacks in detail, you'll notice that I'm using melee in the video. It is exactly the same with magic, just a little bit easier actually. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Okay, so the Queen Black Dragon's melee attack has a max hit of 1,500 damage, and the ranged attack, which is extremely accurate, has a max hit of 2,480 damage, and that's why you're going to be praying against it. So there are 4 special attacks, really. So the first attack will be the Tortured Souls. Okay, so for the souls, you'll see a message in the chat box saying she's about to summon up some souls. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait 1 tick, and then you're going to click to the west of the soul, as you see in slow-mo here, and the attack will hit itself instead of actually hitting you, so it'll go through itself. So watch this, and then I click so that the soul gets hit with the roughly 2,000 damage instead of yourself. And that's it. The second special attack is the Time Stop attack, which is sort of related to the Tortured Souls, but I will explain it anyway. Okay, so in the 4th and final phase, a soul will usually go off to the side and start talking about time being short. If this happens, it's your top priority to kill it as soon as possible, or you will be time stopped. So in this case, I do get time stopped. I did not see the soul who was in the southeast, and I got time stopped. So usually when you get time stopped, it will result in death. I didn't actually die this time, but as you can see, Only yourself is frozen. Everything else continues as normal. The Queen Black Dragon keeps attacking you, but you cannot eat. So yeah, I was lucky to survive at that time, but basically avoid it. Okay, next we have the Flame Walls. Okay, so for the Flame Walls, there are 3 ways to do it. So the first way to do it is when it's summoned up, you run back and then run through it, and you'll be hit for only half the damage, or no damage at all. In this case, you see I get hit by no damage at all, and I run straight through it. But it takes some practice and timing to get it, so you can do it like that. If this is too complicated for you, you can simply just run through the gap, so there's going to be a gap in each flame wall. And also, when you're running back to each artifact, you want to make sure that you don't run into the flame walls backwards, because that can hurt quite a bit. And lastly, the Super Fire Breath attack or Super Sneeze attack. Okay, so for this attack, in the last phase, you'll see a message saying she's about to breathe extremely hot flames. You will be hit by a constant 1,950 damages if you miss it. So what you're going to do is you see the message, you click away, it will breathe it, and you'll only be hit for 450 each time. There's no way to avoid these 450s, and then when it stops, you can click back and re-attack the Queen Black Dragon. And yeah, it's as easy as that. Alright, so at this point I'm going to commentate over a kill that I've sped up in double speed. So the gear I was using Ganodermic and a Polypore Staff, so relatively low level gear. Most people should be able to get their hands on that. And I was using a Spirit Terrorbird as a familiar, so that was the lowest level familiar that was an option. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to stand where I'm standing. Once you go inside, you're going to pot up, put on your prayers, and yeah, just make sure you're anti-fired and start attacking. The first phase is very easy. Basically just stand there. You shouldn't have to eat all that much in the first phase. And the abilities you're going to want to be using the most through this kill, Asphyxiate hits very well, and also as your ultimate you're going to want to use Metamorphosis, just because it greatly increases the kill speed. So basically, as you can see, just killing the Queen Black Dragon. After the first phase ended, I clicked on the glowing thing right in the center of the screen, right to the right of me, so to the east of me, and that ended the first phase and started the second phase. So after the second phase, you'll see a different one will glow, and I will touch it. That will be the one to the southwest. After the third phase, it will be in the southeast, and in the final phase, to end the kill, it will be the one directly south of you. So as you can see, after the second phase starts, she will start summoning souls. Once again, you just click to the left of them, to the west of them, and they will basically kill themselves. So yeah, as you see now, I'm going into the third phase, and the Queen Black Dragons just turned blue. When she turns blue, that means that she's resistant to magic. It just basically, it doesn't affect the kill, doesn't affect the strategy. It just means that it will be a little bit harder to hit her. And she can do the same thing where she turns green, and she becomes more weak to magic. Alright, so now the fourth phase is starting. Once again, I'm back where I'm supposed to be. The 4 souls come. Once again, you just walk to the west, and basically when the souls come, you're always going to want to eat just in case, because you might not be able to dodge all of the attacks. But yeah, that's about it. It's as simple as that. There you see a Super Sneeze attack and the souls at the same time. Obviously, the priority is to move out of the way of the Super Sneeze attack, which is what I did right there. And that's your Queen Black Dragon kill. Not very hard. Only had to eat about 11 times in that whole kill, and I used 1 Super Restore. And as you'll see by the loot, I actually made 300k, and most kills you'll make about that much. So yeah, that is your Queen Black Dragon kill. Alright, so on phase 1, you'll see 1 flame wall at a time, with a max hit of 1500 damage. On phase 2, you'll see 2 flame walls at a time, with a max of 1500 damage each, and you'll see 1 tortured soul at a time. In phase 3, as you'd expect, you'll see 3 flame walls with a max hit of 1500 damage each, and 2 tortured souls at a time. And in the final phase, you'll see 4 flame walls, 4 tortured souls, the time stop special attack, and the super fire breath attack. Alright, so for the noteworthy drops, the Queen Black Dragon drops Dragon Kite Shields, Draconic Visages, Dragon 1 upgrade kits, Royal Crossbow pieces, and various high-level herbs, seeds, and ores. And also the Queen Black Dragon always drops between 5 and 7 Royal Dragonhide, 8 Dragon Bones, and 70 to 100 Royal Bolts, which equates to about 60 to 70k every single kill, regardless of any other drops you may receive. And on average, I would say you get about 250k per kill. I think that's about it, guys. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this guide, and I wish you guys the best of luck with the Queen Black Dragon. Just a note, you probably won't get it on your first ever attempt. Just be prepared to die a couple times and basically to learn the ropes, but it is extremely worthwhile to learn how to do it. The rewards are fantastic. I've probably made over 100 mil at this boss, and as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and I will reply to them as soon as I see them. Thanks, guys. Peace.